The last bus home. The night was colder than usual for late autumn, and the last city bus rumbled through the nearly empty streets, its headlights cutting long beams through the fog. Inside, the seats were worn, the air smelled faintly of dust and diesel, and only a handful of passengers remained scattered in silence. Among them sat Evelyn, a tired nurse still in her scrubs, her hair tied loosely in a bun, the kind of exhaustion painted across her face that only 12-hour shifts in the trauma ward could carve. She sat near the back, forehead against the window, watching blurred lights slide by, and for a moment she felt the familiar heaviness settle in her chest, loneliness, the quiet ache of giving all her strength to others and returning home empty. She often wondered if anyone noticed how much she poured into the world, if the universe even cared, or if she was just another invisible soul in a sea of faces. As the bus slowed at a dimly lit stop, a man stumbled in. His coat was ragged, shoes barely holding together, and his eyes carried that faraway glaze of someone fighting battles no one else could see. He dropped a few coins into the fare box, though it clearly wasn't enough, and the driver opened his mouth to protest, but something in the man's shaking hands made him stop. The man shuffled to a seat across from Evelyn and sat heavily, staring at the floor. Evelyn noticed him because she always noticed people on the edges, the ones the world chose not to look at, the ones dismissed as background noise. Her training had taught her to assess instantly, dehydration, malnourishment, exhaustion, but her heart told her more, this was someone who had carried too much alone for too long. The bus jerked forward, and the man winced as though even the motion hurt. Evelyn hesitated, then pulled a protein bar from her bag and leaned across the aisle. "You should eat something," she said softly, offering it. The man lifted his eyes, and for the briefest moment, Evelyn saw a flicker of shame pass across them. But then he accepted the bar with trembling fingers, muttering a hoarse, "Thank you." He ate it slowly, as if savoring not just the food but the fact that someone had noticed him. What Evelyn didn't know was that the man, his name was Daniel, had once been a carpenter, building homes with hands that now trembled from hunger and cold. He had a family once, too, but after losing his wife to illness and drowning in medical debt, he lost everything else in quick succession, his house, his work, his will to keep fighting. Tonight, he had boarded that bus with no real destination, carrying only the thought that maybe this was the end of the line in more ways than one. They rode in silence for several stops before Evelyn spoke again, almost surprising herself. "Rough night?" Daniel gave a hollow laugh. "Rough few years." Something in his voice cracked, and Evelyn felt her chest tighten. She wanted to say the right thing, something wise, but all that came out.